This is TWiT.
Welcome back to The Tech Guy. Rich DeMuro with you here, talking technology, mobile phones, computers, whatever you got. Whatever you don't understand, whatever you need help with, give me a call. 8888 Ask Leo, 1-888-827-5536. Now let's go to Rancho Cucamonga. You're on with Rich.
Thank you for taking my call. I've been a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, okay,
At
cool.
71 years old, I haven't been interested in the latest and greatest for some time now. As a matter of fact, the only reason I've changed out of my flip phone to a 5S, of which I have now, is not out of embarrassment, but out of necessity. All that changed a couple of days ago when I got information from Verizon about an Apple Series 4 watch. And I have heart disease, so I can't get one of these fast enough based on what I've read. However, it says that I have to have something called number share. And I'm wondering what that is, how will I get it, and if there might be something else I need to make this Apple Series 4 watch work.
Ooh, good question. So here's the thing. Let me talk about this because this is brand new. The Apple Watch Series 4 was just announced this week, and you said you have some heart condition that you think this would be good for, and you're right, because what Apple did with the Series 4 Apple Watch is they made it into an FDA-approved device, medical device. And let me just go through before I explain the whole number share thing, which is actually quite easy. So, but I'll explain that in a second. But let me just tell you what the Apple Watch does for the people that didn't get an email from Verizon. But so the Apple Watch Series 4, it's basically bigger. It's a little bit bigger. It's got a bigger screen. It's got a bigger price tag. It now starts at $400 for the standard model. And Isaac, you would actually need the more expensive model if you want to do the number share thing. That's going to cost $500, so $499. So that's number one. So what they did was they added 3 features into this thing that are sort of like the heart features, and I'll tell you about one more feature that's really interesting too. So the number one thing it does is it recognizes an irregular heart rhythm. So it notices, it takes your sort of your heartbeat at all kinds of intervals throughout the day, and if it notices that you have an irregular heartbeat or something's going on, it will actually send you a notification. So that's number one. Number two, it can actually tell you if your heart rate exceeds or falls below a specified threshold. So if you have an issue with your heart that your doctor has talked to you about, and this is not replacing your doctor. This is if you know you have a heart issue, you can get this watch and kind of supplement what they do at the doctor's office or what you would do with other devices, right? And so if your heart rate falls or goes too high, it will give you another notification, which is really neat. The other thing they did is you can now take an ECG right from the Apple Watch. And ECG, if you ever had one, they hook up a whole bunch of electrodes to your body and they zap you for a couple seconds, and then they some sort of printout, and the doctor looks at it and he says, okay, everything's good, or no, we got to look at this, or we noticed this. So now you can put your finger on the Apple Watch on what they call the digital crown. And if you're familiar with a standard watch, the crown is that little thing you spin on the side. Well, on the Apple Watch, it's digital and it has a sensor on it. You put your finger there, and they also changed the back of the watch. So the back of the watch has a new electrical, kind of an electrical reader. It's an electrical heart rate sensor now. So it's been improved from the old heart rate sensor. And you hold your finger on there for 30 seconds, and it can now analyze your heart rate, and it takes the electrocardiogram right from your wrist. How crazy is that? And Apple says they've been granted a de novo classification by the FDA for this. Now, one thing, Isaac, you need to know about this feature, okay? These 2 new features are not going to be available on the first day of the Apple Watch. Apple Watch is available next Friday, September 21st. These new features are not going to be on the watch the first day. The sensors for them will be built in, but it's something that Apple has to activate later through a software update. So you can't necessarily get the ECG feature right away. Okay, so you need to know about that. But the feature where it analyzes your heart rate and it tells you if it falls or below, or exceeds, that will be there. So the other thing that the Apple Watch does is it has something called fall detection. So remember those old commercials, I've fallen and I can't get up. A lot of people laugh at those, but that's serious. You've got someone that lives by themselves, and I don't care how old you are. If you fall and you have a big fall, you can be incapacitated at any age. So the new feature on the Apple Watch, when it notices that you fall, it will have an algorithm that senses, okay, that was a hard fall, number one. Now we're going to send notification to that person and say, hey, are you okay? So your watch, when you slip, you fall, you trip, your watch is going to say, oh, we noticed that. Hey, are you okay? You go on your watch, you say, yes, I'm okay, I'm fine. But if you don't respond to that notification within 60 seconds, the Apple Watch will spring into action and it will call 911. It's called the SOS feature. So not just 911, whatever country you're in, the Apple Watch will automatically dial the emergency services in that country. And not only that, if you set it up in your health app, which I will tell you, you can do this right now on your iPhone, you should set up your emergency contacts in the health app. And this works on your current iPhone. When you have a problem, you can have a text sent to those emergency contacts, not only with your location, but also it'll say, hey, something just happened, I need help. And it will dial 911 and text those contacts your location and a message. And you can set that up on your iPhone. It's called Emergency SOS. It works right now. And when you have it set up, you can just hit the side button or the home button on your iPhone 5 times fast, and it will dial 911 and alert your emergency contacts. So again, this is all built into the new Apple Watch as well. And it's kind of one more way they can do this to help you out. Now, Isaac, to answer your question about number share, that's just a fancy way of saying that you need to pay an extra $10 a month to Verizon to share your phone number with your Apple Watch. So you want to have the same phone number, your phone, whatever number that's assigned to it, they will give you another phone number assigned to your Apple Watch, but it will actually ring both devices at the same time, whether your phone is nearby or not. So once you pay that $10 to Verizon and you set up number share, your cellular watch will still ring no matter where you are, and you can take calls, make calls, do whatever. Now, you mentioned that you were not interested in technology. The phone that you have does matter. You cannot have an Apple Watch without an iPhone. You need an iPhone to be a companion to the Apple Watch, or flip those around. Your Apple Watch is a companion to the iPhone. Now, I wish that Apple would allow you to have an Apple Watch without an iPhone. And there's no technical reason why they couldn't. With the cellular version, just lets you activate that as a device. You could even have its own phone number. But Apple wants you to use this with the iPhone. Now, once you have it activated and you've got your number share set up, you can put your iPhone in a drawer, basically, and still use the Apple Watch, and it would function almost flawlessly for a majority of the time, but it still needs to kind of dial home and talk to the iPhone once in a while to do some heavy lifting. Hope that answers your question, Isaac. Great question about the new Apple Watch Series 4. Check it out on the website for Apple. If you have health conditions, if you have any heart conditions, if you have someone living at home by themselves, it's got some really, really interesting features that Apple has just done a nice job with.